All right. So my father called me and interrupted our recording session. So I'm gonna actually just breeze through this team builder real quick because I don't really want to go too much in depth again. And if interruptions happen like that, I'm just gonna make these quick, and so they're not that bad. Real quick, it's week 7 of the MMDL. We're taking on Jax. If you guys didn't check out last week, we did pick up our first, and it could very well be our only win, but we stated that we wanted to get one win this season, and we did. So I'm very happy we did succeed in what we wanted to do. I am going to try my best to finish the season 3-5 for you guys, and at least maybe try not to be the worst team ranked at the bottom at the end of the season by the standings. That's going to be my goal. I can't promise I'm going to do it, but I will give it my all to finish out the season strong. We're taking on Jax this week, and I think I've maybe taken on Jax once before in NBA's regular season of something. I don't know which one we did, but I might have taken him on before. And I don't really remember how that battle went, but this should be an interesting battle. I think Jax is in an okay spot right now in terms of the playoffs. Actually, we can look right here. Standings. Also, I'm sorry you can't read some of these. I also am having a hard time trying to read these. So he is ranked number 6 on the standings. So I believe he's 4-2. Yep, he's 4-2 on the standings right now. So if he wins this game, he's guaranteed playoffs. If he loses this game, he's going to have a hard time. And now, knowing that I'm a person that he doesn't have to stress about, he could be semi relaxed with this game if he feels confident with his week 8 game. But if I was Jax, I'm definitely going to do my best to make sure I bring my best team to guarantee playoffs and then bring kind of like a B team in my week 8 game. So definitely going to be a really tough matchup here for us, and we're going to do our best to try to win, and also maybe help some of the other coaches that are trying to make the playoffs. So real quick, Jackson's team is the Empoleon with Voltazor Primordial C, Togekiss with Technician and Unaware, Crobat with Toxic Chain Magic Guard, Meloetta with Regenerator and Sheer Force, Gourgeist with Prankster and Big Body, Miltank with the Protean and Fluffy, Raichu with Galvanized Refrigerate, Torkoal with Moldbreaker Desolate Land, Heracross with Sturdy and Sword of Ruin, the Mabosstiff with Strongjaw Cutting Down, and Sapsipper in Intimidating Marshtomp. Some of the stuff I mentioned in the previous Team Builder is that I guarantee I'm probably not seeing Marshtomp, Torkoal, and Tokias. They do have some merit to still potentially come, but I don't think the Merrick is strong enough. And if I had to pick which one of the three would be slightly strong enough, it would probably be either Torkoal or Marshtomp. If Togekiss was to come, it's unaware. Like, that's pretty much a given. But I just don't think it has a good enough matchup between the two flying types. Torkoal, I just think it doesn't really do much for him in this matchup. I have plenty of things that can offensively check it and hit it that I don't think he can really counter against. And then Marshtomp is simply a Marshtomp, and unless it smacks Spadev AV, it's not really doing much to my team, so I don't care for it. Some of the ones we also talked about was Gourgeist, which if it does come, which I don't think it's coming, but it's one of the 8 Pokemon that I see being brought this matchup. It's the most likely out of the 8, because if it's come, it's forced to be well-made body. Like, you look at my team, which has Magmar on it. Magmar straight up can 6-0 like he got those 3 kills last week. Like, Magmar is insane this game, and he has to respect the Magmar. Especially after seeing the performance he pulled on last week, I better hope he respects Magmar, because that thing is an absolute beast. Now we'll kind of get more back into the in-depth slightly and move a little past now. The one Mon that could easily be replacing the 6th Mon that we'll talk about here, though, but the 7th Mon on this team is going to be Heracross. Heracross actually can be both abilities, but if I was to be Jax and I want to be more of an offensive Heracross, which it's really good into my team, I think you have to go Sword of Ruin. Sturdy is only really good if you're going to try to do some type of SD Salicberry strat with Sturdy and Salicberry to activate the Sturdy ability. I mean, you can put your speed raise so you can guarantee outspeed a decent chunk of my team. I could see that. I think more of like a Scarf or Bandit set makes more sense. It's more reliable, and it looks like you hit a button into my team. Dual stab kind of hits my team for super effective to neutral damage, so I do think it's more reliable. And plus, he can just run something like knockoff to give a boosted offensive hit, and then also maybe something like a rock move if he wants to hit something like Torn. So overall, I really think Heracross can be brought this game, but if it does come, it's replacing the 6-mon, which we're going to talk about, which is Mabostiff. As you guys can kind of look at my team, Wheezing is somewhat pressure to be brought here, but it's not that pressured enough. Like my boss step is good offensively. Like I said, this can easily be swapped out with Heracross. And obviously, if my boss step's coming, it's gonna be strong jaw. Like crunch stab is gonna hit my team hard. I only have two switch-ins. One's a low kicks, and there's a good chance that I can get two-shotted with that. My other is Galarian Wheezing, which forces me to be a fully Fizz Def set, which it just takes one good prediction with Psychic Fangs, and then Crunch becomes a 2 KO after the 50% chip it's going to get with Psychic Fangs, or the 75% chip. Who knows? But overall, I think Mabastov is really strong here in this game, and I think it's going to be one. Like I said, it's either Mabastov or Terracross in that 6 slot. I'm leaning a little bit towards Mabastov, but now talking about it, I could see Heracross. But coming into the 5th slot here, though, for this team, I think I'm trying to. I guess it doesn't really matter what I talk about them. Is Raichu. I think Raichu's Bolt Beam does insanely good in this matchup. I could easily see a Nasty Plot set. Nasty Plot pretty much cooks my entire draft. The good news is we are forcing it to be a choice scarf variant if it wants to be scarfed, or it's forced to be max speed in order to respect Stormy's speed tier. Overall, it's going to be a mon that we have to play around here. If it's galvanized for whatever reason, it could be a little bit more self a threat because obviously Rillaboom's in the only switch in, and Rillaboom honestly does not have that good of a matchup. So if he's not refrigerate, we could have a better chance against it. But if it's galvanized, it could be a little annoying because it could mean that he's a potential extreme speed build, which could be really, really bad for us. So really hoping that we can be able to pull off a hopefully see refrigerate, not galvanized. But again, it's a Raichu. But I am going to respect Raichu. Up next is this Miltank, and once I saw team preview, instant #1 pick he's bringing this game. I don't know how physically defensive he's going to make this cow. I don't know if he's going with like a max HP build. He's going with probably like an impish build and make the impish like max defense, and then some HP, some speed def, and maybe a little bit of speed depending. I don't know. He could just go straight max for HP and defense and just be a fat cow. But this thing is going to be so annoying. I expect most likely a milk drink toxic set and then probably body slam and then a coverage move. This is going to be the most annoying Pokemon on his roster. And I'm only going to have one good counter to it. And I better hope I don't lose that counter because if I do, Miltank single handedly can just stall me out. And you guys know how I get when stall happens. So we're going to hope and pray that doesn't happen. Up next is Meloetta. Now, this is the first time ever that I legitimately can see either ability showing up. I don't think there's a bad ability here that's more preferenced over the other for Meloetta. Regenerator obviously is a really good pivot mon for him, so you can use your momentum if you really wanted that be. So you can be like an offensive Pokemon with Regen. He also could be Sheer Force because he has got great moves that are boosted by that. Like Relic Song can be stronger on him, which gives him a better normal stab. Psychic gives him boosted offense. Thunderbolt, Energy Ball, if it Energy Ball, remember or even good electric coverage with Charge Beam, which can be easily stronger as well. This is just a Pokemon that is very annoying offensively, but is also very annoying defensively. So again, for the first time, I'm legit seeing any ability come here. If I was to take a guess what I feel like he would want more, I slightly would believe he wants regen more than he wants sheer force, but like I said, it could be vice versa. Both make sense. I don't know really 100% of what it's going to be, but if I had to get stabbed, I think it's going to be regen. Crobat. We need to talk about this bat because this bat is really the biggest offensive threat to our team outside of things like the Raichu and Heracross. This thing can easily run Choice Band this matchup, and I can tell you right now, Choice Band literally OHKOs to 2 KOs everything I have. I only have a Jolteon, which maybe takes one hit. Again, it's a possible 2 KO if he's adamant. I think he has to go Jolly to respect Jolteon's speed tier. If he goes adamant, then Jolteon's guaranteed to outspeed it, and but still has to take one hit, and then it's 2 KO regardless. Fortress could be a decent wall and be 3-hit KO'd, possibly. Maybe 2-hit KO'd if I'm feeling if it's really that bad. Shadow Shield on Flygon lets me take one, but I don't take the other. And then Lycanrock gets 2-hit KO. I legitimately don't have a good switch into a Choice Bandit Crobat. So this is probably the biggest offensive threat into his entire team that he has against us. And it is definitely going to be a tough mon for us to build. I could see an option of him wanting to bring Toxic Chain, as I do not have, I only have like two Pokemon that cannot, I think can't be toxic. I don't know if Toxic Chain lets you poison Seal types or not. I don't remember. I know Corrosion does, but I don't remember if Toxic Chain can do that too. Um, but regardless, Crobat's probably the biggest threat here, and I do think Empoleon comes. Empoleon, I think, is like going to be his answer to Jolteon because it's the best counter to Jolteon he has on his same team outside of potential Marshtomp. With Empoleon, though, if Volt Absorb makes sense, I think there'd be no reason to bring Primordial Sea unless you're bringing like a Choice Scarf Empoleon, which, let's be honest, that would be really weird and doesn't make sense. Um, but Volt Absorb just makes sense. It walls Jolteon technically for its Volt Beam stab that it will have. It's a really good answer to Starmie to shut down Thunder options as well, and just wall unless Starmie's running Focus Blast, which I don't believe Starmie does learn, which sucks. It's also just a really good mon to be a defensive check. Like I can see this either being Chople or Shuka this matchup. Shuka to respect the fact that I could have with Flygon and the drill run with Lycanrock, but I also think Chople makes a lot more sense as well because of any fighting type coverage do I have against my team. Also with the Fortress on Body Press and also the Close Combat from Lycanrock. So that is the team I expect Jax to bring. The team I am expecting is Empoleon with Volt Absorb, Crobat with Magic Guard, Meloetta with either one of its ability, maybe lean towards Regenerator, Miltank with Fluffy, Raichu with Refrigerate, and Mabosstiff with Strongjaw, which could be replaced with Heracross with Sword of Ruin. Now, let's look at the team we are building for this week. And we're kicking it off here with our main man, Pablo, who's also known as Pinch Hopper, which, if you guys remember, is a Yu-Gi-Oh reference we're making with this. And I took the gamble on this build. Now, I looked at my boy Lokix here, and as you saw, my opponent really does not have good switches to Bug plus Ground, Bug plus Dark. Now, I was thinking of going Dark Aura on this thing, but I really wanted my adaptability to hit really hard this matchup. And Leech Slice recovery option to get as much back as I can on some Pokemon really made a lot of sense to me. So I'm taking a slight gamble here and going with adaptability over Dark Aura. This mon just hits insane hard. If I get one SC off for free, I can just two-shot to Oko everything on my opponent's roster. And that's no joke. The only Pokemon we can't really do anything to is Togekiss. So again, it's a slight risk of bringing this if Togekiss does show up because Togekiss just walls me forever. But I really think Lokix does fantastic in this matchup. We are only running enough speed to outspeed a zero speed invested Miltank. I was heavily debating making this faster than Heracross plus Mabosstiff. I really debated on it, but I really want Lokix hitting hard this matchup. So Lokix is going to be running the Adamant Nature so we can hit that hard damage output. Up next is Princess here. And taking yet another big risk here. We're running not next speed to speed tie with the Raichu. If I can get some chip damage off on Raichu, this set works. We are faster than Mabosstiff and the Mabosstiff unless they are Choice Scarf. I even debated potentially being Choice Scarf Adamant this matchup, but I love just hitting things hard. This was a phenomenal Choice Band matchup to Lycanrock, and I feel like I've been always pigeonholing myself to Swords Dance. I'm going to take a bit of a bold move here, and I'm going to go Choice Band. Rock Slide plus a Solid Rock can end the game, such cleanup, which is really great. Psychic Veins is really good to catch a potential Heracross pivot in on this thing. And then just Close Combat nukes any switching he has, being his Steel type or his Fighting or his normal type, and just overall can hit everything for super effective to neutral coverage and should in theory Oko to two-shot everything on my opponent's team. Princess also not shiny. Thank goodness I do these team builders so I can make sure they're shiny. But I'm really feeling good with the set. I really think I'm also technically bringing an illegal set. It's a good thing I do these team builders, and I've honestly just been very tired today. I don't know why I'm so exhausted mentally right now, but it's fine. but I'm feeling really good about this set. I think it's gonna do well. I'm actually gonna save the Magmar set because I'm wanting to do something with it. First Fortress. I'm taking a big time gamble with this set. We are running Iron Defense, Body Press, Rest, and Heavy Slam. Now, if anyone is wondering something, Rest is not illegal if you ran, unless Rest is illegal. I'm going to double check something real quick with Kaz. But if this is illegal, it will be changed before the battle. It will be changed before the battle. But I'm pretty confident rest is not illegal. If it was sleep powder, hypnosis, and yawn, then that'd be illegal. I believe rest is legal because they did something like this where they thought I think rest wasn't legal on a Suicune. So I'm pretty confident rest is legal, but I'll double check again. But we have Iron Defense, Body Press, and Heavy Slam. If I get an Iron Defense off, I literally will just 6-0 his team. If he is for some random reason a mixed Crobat with Heat Wave, I'm going to be so sad right now because that ruins this set. We are best over one, which means Meloetta can't do too much damage to me. I can actually take it on relatively well. I should be able to most likely take on Raichu variants unless it is Nasty Plot and I pretty much can just wall them. Like if I get an Iron Defense off, I should in theory OHKO to two. I should pretty much 2 KO everything except Crobat, where we have Heavy Slam. And again, I should be able to 1v1 Crobat. I have Rest with the Chesto, so I can be able to restore this thing back up and just go back in town and just break things. My goal is to hopefully just get one Iron Defense off, but if there's an opportunity to get more than one off, I'm going to go for it. If I cannot get more than one off, I'm just going to get my one and then go from there. Up next, finally coming back is Typhoon. I feel like we haven't been using this guy for a long time. In this set, I'm not super confident with, but I think it's the best set I can go with here. And it is going to be the Magic Guard set with Conberry. This lets me guarantee live any hit from Raichu and go for a free Nasty Plot. Now, there's two things about this set that's both good and bad. Good, it offensively checks my opponent's team. He cannot beat this thing offensively if I play my cards right and I do land my moves. Yes, all my moves can miss, sadly. But here's what's bad. If I want to KO the Raichu before he can do anything to me, I have to land Focus Blast to kill or get lucky with a roll of Heat Wave. Now, if I can get like around 10% chip damage off on Raichu, Heat Wave guaranteed kills at +2, which means I don't have to risk going for Focus Blast. What Combat just basically means that if he's not E-Speed on that Raichu and he's not Galvanized, my Focus Blast lets me have two chances to kill it if I miss in the first one. So I'm hoping Torin can put his luck on him. Typhoon has never failed me. He landed 6 hurricanes in a row for me one time, which is on video, and I'm hoping he's going to repeat the success he did last time. Up next is Lastly Honest or Norberta or Flygon, and I might change the item on this. I might not. I don't really know what I want to do with this set. I've really debated this set back and forth because I like Covert Cloak, so that way I cannot be, paralyzed. I can't be this or that, like. I think I'm gonna risk it here actually. And I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna go not Earth Plate, Soft Sand. Wait, does Soft Sand and Earth Plate do the exact same thing? Okay, yeah. I'm gonna risk it and go Soft Sand. We did Soft Sand one time, and you saw a 2 KO to Hippowdon with Fluffy. This is a less bulkier version, but it can basically do the exact same thing. So I'm gonna take a risk here, and you also look at his team. He doesn't really have that much ground switchings here. Now, I'm debating also between Facade and Dual Wing Beat. Dual Wing Beat's really good because it lets me guarantee beat Heracross at +1. And Facade's really good because if he does decide to status me, you look at his team, outside of Empoleon and Gorgeist, what really wants to take a Facade from a Flygon? Like, I think I'm going to really regret this decision. I feel like I'm going to really regret this, but I'm going to go with Dual Wing Beat here. Just because I need to make sure I can beat Heracross. Heracross is the one thing that can stop this set from going spiral outside of Miltank, and of course if it's Prankster Gorgeist if it shows up. Also, this set pretty much will lose. I am very much so slightly unpreparing myself for that Togekiss if it does show up. I understand, but this is the best I can do. I really was wanting to bring Jolteon because Jolteon does insanely well, but with Marshtomp there, with Empoleon there, the offensive capability of Crobat chipping me down, and just good defensive pieces, it's hard to justify Chelsea on this game. I really wanted to bring in. I also really wanted to bring Starmie, but I feel like I can't have the merit to bring in. But now the time you've all been waiting for, the heated set you have ever seen in your life. We're bringing a Salisbury Magmar. I am praying to God this set works because here's the situation here. Now, it's very clear that this set will not work in a lot of variations. And I should pretty much be outcode to a KO in every single way. I might change Salisbury to something else, possibly. Maybe a citrus. Who knows? However, I feel like this set cooks because he is always going to be fearing Mach Punch. Mach Punch is the biggest theory he has. Yes, he has a fluffy Miltank, but the thing is, Miltank realistically cannot check me if it is defensive because Fire Punch Oko's that thing because of that. And again, I keep doing this. And you know what? I think we're going to bring Fluffy on our Magmar this week. I think Fluffy Magmar is making his debut this week. I really don't know why I've been missing out on the abilities. I apologize for that. But I really want this Magmar to cook, man. I would love Magmar to get another thumbnail. I really would. He should have technically gotten two already, but I would love to give a Magmar the thumbnail again. I really would. So I'm praying this set works. I'm not going to try to win with this set right away. I'm not going to try to like fire this off immediately. I'm hoping and I am just praying this set works. But that is gonna be it for me, guys. I actually am facing Jackson in about an hour or so. So I kind of sped run his team up, but I think it's a good enough team. And like I said, I don't really need to take my builds that serious anymore. And but I did at least somewhat try for you guys, and I did try for all the other players that are trying to make the playoffs as well. So again, if Jax wins, he's guaranteed playoffs. But if he loses, that means he has to win his last game to guarantee playoffs, unless he's going to get very lucky in a 4-4 record against other people's differentials. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in about an hour or so for game time. So until next time, guys, peace.